it's Brian. Welcome to Chiller Night Live, where from 8 p.m. Eastern Time until 9 o'clock, we'll be talking about all things horror, science fiction, paranormal. You pick the topic, you throw it at me, and we'll make a show out of it. So that's the plan anyways. We'll give it a good, honest effort. Stephanie says, hey, y'all. Hey, Stephanie, thanks for joining us. You are first tonight. All right. John says, hey, everyone. Hey, John, thanks for joining us. Paul. Hey, there's Paul. All right. How are you doing today, and how is Ava? Doing very good. Glad you could make it tonight. So, you made it. And there's Ava sending me some hearts right back at you, baby. Tom says, new intro. Well, we've had that one for a little while. But yeah, I did make a new one, but it's been probably a couple months. Yeah. But Adam says, have you seen the new Nosferatu trailer, and what did you think? Oh, no, I haven't seen the new trailer. I remember last week I had mentioned that you know, it was coming out, but I didn't see the trailer yet. How about you, Adam? Did you check it out, and what did you think of it? Has anybody else seen it? I haven't seen it. Interesting. No. Well, while we're getting into that, that's pretty awesome. I hope it's good. I kind of have my doubts. I kind of have my doubts anymore. You got to watch it live now, Adam says. I don't know how. Maybe you know what? If I can get it for next week, I'll show it. I'll show it here on the show. I have to download it and then load it into the queue and play it. And at that point, I'd probably hit something wrong and deactivate for the night. But Paul says, Manos is back. How is my beautiful chiller sisters and brothers? Manos, love you all. Yes. Well, we are glad you're back, and hopefully everyone else is out there doing well. Tom says, I guess I've been getting here too late to see it. Yeah, it's been a little while. Tom Gross says, hey, Brian. Hey, Tom. How's it going? You guys are, have you had Gross Fest? Yes, I haven't been in the loop of anything other than what, you know, like my store. After work, I go to the store, I work and rinse and repeat. That's all I do. So, but if you did have it, I hope it went well. And if you haven't had it yet, I hope it goes well. So that's nice to see you on here tonight there, Tom. Thanks. Bonehead says, hey, hello, Chillinate crew and Brian, Tom, and the whole gang. Hey, Bonehead, thanks for joining us. And John Wayne, SBC, is on there. Hello, everyone. Hey, SBC. John Wayne. Al says, hey, everyone. This is Al tonight on my phone. It's Chiller Night. Hey, Al, thanks for joining us. Al on his phone. Well, we're glad that you've arrived, no matter what format you've chosen for tonight. Renee says, hey, Renee, thanks for joining us. But it says a new opening. Nuts, I missed it. No, it's the same one. Well, it's been there since for several months, but. I think Tom says that he might have been coming in late and missed it. I read that. Tom says, not yet. August 2nd and 3rd for Gross Fest. All right. Everyone remembers Gross Fest. We went there, went to the one in 2019, 2020. We all know what happened then. Kind of affected the whole world. And then August 2nd and 3rd. Outstanding. Very cool. Well, I hope that goes well for you. Where's that going to be this year, Tom? Adam says, I thought it was great. Okay, speaking about the Nosferatu trailer, the new Nosferatu movie, it definitely gives off gothic horror vibes and not like every cookie cutter horror movie. It's hard to describe it, but it definitely feels like actual horror, not the jump scare mainstream stuff. Very cool. I'm glad to hear that. PBR gives me the wave, so I will wave back. Thanks for joining us, PBR Street Gang. Let's see. Paul says, anyone watching Skinwalker Ranch Season 5? Very cool. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. So what are we talking about tonight? Stephanie says. Bonehead says, oh, never mind then. Oh, yeah. Nope, it's the same one. Adam says, bust out your phone and watch it, Brian, and we'll watch it, and you can give us your thoughts. All right, that's not a bad idea. All right, you guys want to see the, I assume it's on YouTube. Watch them. Watch them penalize me for playing it. That's all right. We're going to do it anyways. I don't make nothing from this. Nosferatu. What the heck? Is this it? 1 day ago. 1 day ago. Okay, it says only in theaters December 25th. Okay, so. Come to me. Starts right there. All right. Let me rewind it a little bit. And try not to get the glare here. How am I going to do this? All right, I got to be quick.
Come to me. Come to me. Hear my call. Come to me. Professor, my dreams grow darker. Does evil come from within us or from beyond?
Who is coming to you, my child? We are here encountering the vampire. Nosferatu.
That looked pretty good. That looked pretty good. All right. I'm not disappointed. That was a neat idea. All right. I'm sure it didn't show up real clear, but let's see. Oh, geez. Where am I at? Yeah, I liked it, Adam. I liked it. Paul says, aliens are living among us. I happen to agree with that. I believe that. Tom says, Comfort Inn in Penn Hills. Okay, cool. If you want to put a link on here, you're welcome to do that. Or everybody here, you guys know, you remember Tom and Tim and you know, Grossfest. Check out what they have going on. Ava says, I started watching Skinwalker Ranch. Bona says, Skinwalker Ranch sounds like a porno western. I don't think it is. Ava says, all the paranormal stuff. Yeah. Kevin says, good evening. Good evening, Kevin. Thanks for joining us. That's a Van 1. Hey, Patty, thanks for joining us. How about a subject about horror movie remakes? Wow, what a nice, yeah, since we're talking about the Nosferatu remake, I like it. I like it. In fact, wasn't it today on this date that what was it about 40 years ago or so that The Thing, which is a remake, of course, John Carpenter's came out? Was that today? For some reason, I'm thinking that I thought I saw that. Let's see, you got to check it out. Looks like something from the 70s, John Wayne says. Jason says, good evening, Brian and fellow chillers. Good evening, Jason. Thanks for joining us. Wow, you've had quite an adventure here lately with all those pictures. They look fantastic. Wow, that looked like a lot of fun. History Channel Tuesday night, Paul says, for Skinwalker Ranch, which is not the Western porno, as Bonehead seemed to think it was. Uh, Ren Goku Wan says, my mom says there's a lot of vampires. Still? They still there? Adam says Willem Dafoe looks great, don't he? I'll be honest, I couldn't see like all the dark stuff. I couldn't see because like I was holding the phone up and I was watching it here, but even the screen where I'm watching myself is small compared to the chat. Um, so I have to rewatch it afterwards. So I can't wait to see that movie. Al says. Stephanie says, "Did I mention I've seen the original Nosferatu movie? I don't know if you did, but that's cool. We actually played that. We did a live version of Nosferatu for Children Night Theater. In fact, if you guys remember, I don't know if you do or not, but this is what happened. Nosferatu. We were trying out the live Children Night Theaters. And that's the one I selected for the very first one. And it was back in early 2019. Could have been January or February. I really don't remember. But I remember that was our first one because that was kind of the guinea pig. That was, I was trying to see. I thought, well, I can do this live. Can I do a live Chillin' Night Theater? Maybe. So we had some snags because I wasn't quite sure how this all worked yet. When it came to playing movie segments, and yeah, there were some technical snags, big time, but we got through it, and but that's cool. Bonus says, I heard a rumor they're supposed to do a remake of them. I think I did hear that. Klaus Kinski's Nosferatu was very good, Jason says. Very cool. Oh, Tom put the link there for the info. Thanks, Brian. Grossfest.com, everybody. Grossfest.com. And Tom, now he's on Facebook, so you viewers who are joining us on YouTube can't see that. Although, very simple to remember. It's Grossfest. Now, it's spelled Grossfest. For those of you who are not familiar with Grossfest. Grossfest.com. Yes, not a problem, Tom. Thanks for letting us know about that, because I'm sure some of us will be interested in going. I know I won't be able to be quite honest with you, but if any of you live down in that area, give it a look-see. Check it out. It was a good time. I wish I could go to them. Jason says, Monterey was amazing. I must say this show is a close second. Oh, yeah? Nice. Well, thank you. Patty says, I'm on staycation today, so I'll be here the whole hour. Awesome. Yeah, usually you have to kind of ninja your way in and out. Yeah, so that's awesome. Bonehead says, Bonehead is an idiot of the first order. Oh, wait, that's me. PBR says, I have just read The Frozen Hell, which is the book that the thing is from. They just found the original draft in a cabinet somewhere. Oh, really? That's cool. Renee says, second Punisher. Rest in peace. You talking about the actor? The guy who was Ray Stevenson? I thought, if that's who you're talking about, I thought he looked cool. I didn't think the movie was great. I thought it was okay. It was kind of entertaining, but I thought he looked good as the Punisher. Tom says, Willem Dafoe in a Nosferatu remake. Why am I not surprised? Yeah, that was bound to happen. That's just the natural progression of things, with Willem Dafoe. Paul says, I'm here, Stephanie, and thanks. I got out of the hospital today. Seizure, yeah. What fun, great drugs, and Manos pulled me through. I love you. Okay, yes, Manos, no doubt he was going to pull you out of that situation, Paul. So, John Wayne says, unfortunately, still no remakes of Manos. I think he's spelled fortunately wrong. Put a UN at the beginning. So, Bones, no, the horror of them is a classic, Patty says. Um, let's see. Should I go? Oh, I'm not too far behind. Okay. I thought Patty says, Bones, no, the horror of them is a classic. Bonehead says, Tom, didn't Willem Dafoe play a vampire in another movie about making Nosferatu? I think so. Yeah, I think so. What was the name of that? Forget. Had jeez, I'm totally not getting this. These memories are not falling into place. I must move on. Paul says, return to Salem Lot. Oh, yeah, I think we mentioned that last week too, didn't we? Now that can't be an official poster for an upcoming movie because it says 2023 at the bottom of it, which I didn't see last week when I played that. But I did look, and it says online that they're remaking Salem's Lot. So, but Paul says return to Salem's Lot. I don't know. That's neat. A lot of okay, Barlow and Count Orlok or Nosferatu, whatever you want to call them. They have that creepy look, pointed ears, that rat look to them. Very cool. That's a scary looking vampire. I like it. I like to see movies like that with vampires. Let's see. Let me jump up here. Let's see. Jason says, I thought Who Goes There by Campbell was the book the thing was based on. That I don't know. I certainly couldn't tell you that. Defoe. Oh, Tom says Defoe played Nosferatu in Shadow of the Vampire. That's it. Stephanie says, I think Vincent Price's House of Wax was a remake before the Paris Hilton one. I don't know. Can't think of that one. The remake. I didn't see the remake of it. PBR says great vampire movie is Near Dark. Near Dark? I can only think of Bill Paxton in the movie. I can't think of it. I really can't think of who else was in that. John Wayne says best and worst vampire movie. Best and worst vampire movie. There you go. There's another topic. Horror movie remakes and best and worst vampire movie. All right, I like this. Renee says fourth Star Wars trilogy. Are they really going to do it? Are they really going to do it? Star Wars isn't doing so well right now. It's really tanking. It's really tanking. At least that newest, and I promise I won't. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. I literally, whether it was good or not, I haven't had time. I just haven't had time. But I have been seeing the reviews on it, and not only that, but the ratings and stuff are just down through the floor. So, I tend to not just take people's word for it, but you look at the other statistics and all that stuff. But it is doing horrible. It's like it's actually rated worse than the Star Wars Holiday Special is where it's at right now. To give you an idea where it's at, okay, it's doing horrible. And so, did I say it's doing horrible? Renee says December 12th, 2024. Well, that said Christmas Day for Nosferatu, if that's what you're talking about. Or are you talking about the fourth trilogy of the start and end? John says, and speaking of remakes, did you know that they did remake The Brain That Wouldn't Die, as well as Plan 9 from Outer Space? I've heard that stuff. I've heard that. But I've not seen either one of those remakes. Yeah, I was going to say The Killer Shrews also, but I think that was a return to. I don't think that was a remake. Huh. Oh, bonus is Jason, Who Goes There is a shorter version of Frozen Hell that Campbell wrote. Oh, okay. That explains that. PBR says both Salem's Lot and Jerusalem's Lot are great. Now, I've not read any of those. If you're talking about the novels, I've not seen. Was there a movie called Jerusalem's Lot? Let's see. Stephanie says, actually, Jason, the book Who Goes There was from The Thing. The book was also from The Thing from Another World. The book was also for The Thing from Another World. Huh. You guys got me when it comes to the books. I don't know. I don't know the connections or what is what. I didn't read a lot of horror movies, the novelizations. And I am skipping some of these comments, so please, if I skip it, please don't be offended. If it's of urgency, please just throw it in there again. I am falling behind, and I don't want to get too far behind because then the delay makes my comments, my responses, kind of irrelevant by that point. So let's see. I'm going to. Oh, Renee says no. I was talking about Star Wars. Oh, okay, interesting. Star Wars. What exactly about Star Wars is going horribly? Just in general, or are you talking about something specific? The Acolyte streaming series is doing just like the worst that has ever that Lucasfilm, Disney's Star Wars has ever done. Like, it's doing bad. I couldn't tell you specifically why. I've heard some things, but again, the writers, the writing of these stories, it's not the stuff we grew up with, and that Star Wars is dead. And that's why when we talk of movies coming out now, I don't get my hopes up because they have there's just certain writers that they have now that aren't the same writers that we used to love when we were kids. I'm not saying all of them, but I'm saying for some reason a majority of them get into the business, get shoved up in the front spotlight on these movie productions. They got their little checklist that they have to hit, and there's your crappy script, and they pour the money into making them, and they lose even more, it seems. Joan says, best vampire movie for me is Horror of Dracula. And the worst, it has to be The Fearless Vampire Killers, or pardon me, but your fangs are in my neck. Now that sounds like, was that a serious movie, or was that a comedy? It sounds like a comedy. Jedi Star Killer, Renee says. Really? Are they gonna have Star Killer in it? I don't know that character other than a video game. Isn't that the name of a character from a video game? But it says, well, Paul, on the bright side, at least you have an excuse for yourself. I, on the other hand, have none. Let's see. Oh, Patty says, Plan 9 Remake, I think, is available on Vudu. Cool. Tom says, what fool remade Plan 9? Yeah, how can you outdo the classic original? Bonus says, yeah, Plan 9 is a classic. See, why on earth would you remake that? Yeah, Jack Shadow seems to think so. He loves that movie. Patty says, remakes equal money. No brains needed, according to the big studios. Yeah. Just figure they're going to ride on the coattail of the product that came before. So, bonus says, I heard no brains needed. I'm applying for that position. Well, good luck with that. I wish you well. Jeff says, The Night Stalker, the first Kolchak movie. The vampire played by Barry Atwater was absolutely terrifying. I remember that, Jeff. I remember watching that the night it was on, and man, that whole end scene with you know, Kolchak in the in the house at the end. Oh man, that was scary. That was scary when you're a kid watching that for the first time. Holy cow! I agree with that. Yeah, that was good. Tom says, "Well, oh, I think they are that way, Pat. But Plan 9, they should pick something that made money." LOL. Uh, SBC says Disney is milking Star Wars to death. They should take a break 3 to 5 years. Yeah, they're doing more than just milking it to death. Um, why? How do you take? And I've said this, and I've ranted enough about it. But I will say this: I mean, we're talking about remakes and stuff, or in my opinion, when I think of a remake, or it could be a continuation, as far as I'm concerned. But when you have a multi-billion-dollar, like that was a sure thing. That should have been a sure thing. We'll take the Star Wars, and man, we're gonna make tons of money. All we got to do is not screw it up. Remember that part I just said? Not screw it up. Well, that's the first. They couldn't wait to screw it up quick enough, and yeah, they're losing tons of money. Good on them. Good on them. Well done. Patty says, Plan 9 still makes money. The church he made it for still owns the copyright, I heard. What? Really? And all of us play it. Play it as a public domain movie. Huh. That's funny. Really? I didn't know that. I didn't know the church is still... The church makes money? The church still makes the money that produced it? Wow. Brad says, hey, Brad, thanks for joining us. I had a dream last night that it was January 1st, 2027. And we can watch Dracula and Frankenstein for free because it's in the public domain. Then I woke up and it was all just a dream. What a happy dream, though. Happy dream. That's a good dream, Brad. Soon enough. The weight is killing me, he says. I know. Well, let's not wish our life away. It'll be here soon enough. Yes, but I know what you mean. That will be pretty cool. Hopefully, a lot of younger viewers will get to see and appreciate these classics if they haven't already. At least it'll be available for. Maybe they'll be scrolling down through some free movies and check it out. Renee says, the Fifth Crow remake trailer looks terrible, and all the reviews from die-hard faithful Crow fans were critiquing. I have heard that, and I've heard, quite honestly, now, I've heard it's no good, you know, from the die-hard Crow fans critiquing it, so, I don't know. I haven't even seen the trailer, so I can't comment. I can't comment other than what I'm hearing some of the reviews are. That's all I can comment about it because I haven't seen it, the trailer. Kurt says, hello, Brian. Hey, Kurt, thanks for joining us. Paul says, I have to go help Mom get ready for bed now. See you next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. I love you, family. All right, Paul, thanks for joining us tonight. And you and your mom, you have a good evening. And glad you got a chance to join us. John says, Jaws is a movie that we won't see remade, but I did discover that the shark killer game in the movie is a real arcade shooter game, and it's super hard to find, but it's out there. Really? I didn't know that. Never really thought about it, but yeah, I wouldn't have known that. Interesting. Stephanie says, I dreamt I was in a zombie apocalypse. I've had dreams like that. I've had some dreams like that. Boy, what a rush. They're kind of creepy. Bunny says, hey, hello to our wonderful women of the Chiller Night crew, Miss Stephanie, Miss Renee, and Miss Ava. Yes. We're glad they are joining us. I'm still going to watch the new Crow on the first day, Renee says. Cool. Yeah, let us know what you think of it. When's that come out, Renee? Is that, or do you know, is that coming out soon? I mean, the trailer's coming out, so I guess we just watched Nosferatu's trailer, and that's not coming out till December, so you never know. Let's see. Bonehead, wow, I'm having quite the night here, ain't I? What are you doing, Bonehead? I have to scroll back and see what you're doing. Let's see. Stephanie says, dang it, sorry. As I was saying, I haven't watched The Crow. Take care, Paul. I liked the first Crow. I remember going to the movies to see that when that came out with Brandon Lee. I thought that was cool. Everyone's saying goodnight to Paul. Very cool. Brad says, who isn't excited that Dracula and Frankenstein going public domain in 2027? That's Jack Shadow's dream comeback from retirement. Yeah, I would. I could only assume that Jack Shadow plans to grace his chiller viewers with those episodes, playing those movies. I'm sure he will. Richard says, love the shirt. Oh, thank you, Richard. Thank you. Hey, Renee had said something about earlier, and maybe you answered, Renee. Maybe you answered because I had to scroll down through, and I'm sorry I missed some of these comments, but about R.I.P. to the second Punisher. Were you talking about the actor who played him, the Ray Stevenson? Or was somebody else? Did somebody else pass away who played him? Because I know Thomas Jane, Dolph Lundgren. Remember, Dolph Lundgren was actually the first one who played him in the 80s. Then Thomas Jane played him in, 2004, I think? I could be off on that. And then Ray Stevenson, and then the John Bernthal, is that his name? From Walking Dead. I think I got them all in there. I asked myself the very same question many times during the day, Brian. What are you doing? Richard says, who is the actor playing the Crow this time? I couldn't tell you. Anybody know who's playing the Crow this time? I read the name, but it wasn't something that stood out to me. John Wayne says, speaking of dreams, what were the worst nightmares you've ever had as children? One that I've had, and it does go back to even my childhood, and this was the most terrifying thing ever, was that that the rapture had occurred and that I had missed it. That everybody was gone. Well, everybody who was going to go went. So, and that's like, you don't get a second chance at that, to go up again. You stand there jumping up, and then when you wake up, it's like, and I've had that dream, several times, even in my childhood, and then I've had it, I haven't had that in a long time. It's probably been probably 20 years or so since I've had that, but that to me was just terrifying. That was more terrifying to me than any zombie apocalypse dream, even though those were pretty scary. But man, just that realization that sinks in, oh no. Patty says, warning, most popular public domain get hacked and messed up by big studios. Oh, is that right? Interesting. I didn't know that. Stephanie says, Brian, is that the Punisher t-shirt? Yes. You see it? John Bernthal. I wasn't sure if I was pronouncing his last name right. Okay, thanks, Stephanie. Jeff says, speaking of Jaws, I don't think there was a movie that scared me more at the theater. Yeah. That was pretty terrifying. I was in the 6th grade. I needed therapy after even getting the swimming pool. Was that last week we were talking about that? I saw this picture of all these. It was like a little lake, and there was a big screen. and all these people were in floating in their inner tubes, like with their legs in the water and like half their body floating in the water. And somebody, I don't know if they were playing Jaws or somebody says, "Can you imagine watching Jaws this way?" It was nighttime, and it's like I think we just talked about this last week, and it's like I don't know that I could do that. My mind would just, I wouldn't be able to focus on the movie other than like my mind would just be playing too many tricks on me. Even though I know there's not a great white shark in a little pond or a lake, it's just I don't know. I wouldn't be able to focus on the movie. I don't think. SBC says, or Bonehead says, SBC getting a killer TV because we didn't have one when I grew up, and only being able to watch Manos and nothing else. That's your worst nightmare. Brad says, I heard that the lady that played Greedo died recently. Yeah, one of the people who played Greedo, yeah, she's passed away a couple weeks ago. Yeah. Renee says, so I dreamt I was at a rock concert, and the next day I saw Artillery at DNA Lounge. Good times. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it doesn't sound like much of a nightmare. Artillery at DNA Lounge. Good times. Bonus says, well, that's a nightmare, Pilgrim. Uh-huh. Richard says, worst nightmare involved Sammy Terry. Oh, yeah? Okay. Stephanie says Bill Skarsgård is playing the Crow. I'm sure that's the response to who's playing the Crow. Brad says, yeah, and Greedo got fried. Yes. Yes, he did. He deserved it. He had it coming. Bonus says, well, look out, there goes Miss Renee and the emoji explosion. Yeah, I don't know how you do that. You must be able to type like 100 miles a minute. Renee says various actors were in talks to lead over the years, including Bradley Cooper, Jason Momoa, Tom Hiddleston, and Luke Evans. Bill Skarsgård eventually landed the role, starring alongside FKA Twigs in the film directed by Rupert Sanders, Ghost in the Shell. Huh. I did not know that. I didn't even know they were doing a remake until I just recently, very recently, within the last couple of weeks, saw that, I think. Patty says, okay, worst dream. Dreamed I woke up and found out I was still dreaming. Waking up, still no dreaming. Waking up still, or no still asleep. Not still asleep. Waking up, still asleep. Waking up and sitting there for 20 minutes. What? That seems like quite a little ride there. Patty says, oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. That's horrible. The host is yawning. Hope I don't get fired. Patty says, wondering if I had finally woken. It was after I saw Nightmare on Elm Street. Oh, that would be creepy. Al says, the new Crow is the actor who played Pennywise. Oh, that's where I would know him. Okay. I recognize, I've heard the name, but I didn't know who it was. Renee says, oh yeah, Dolph Lundgren. So I met the third Punisher, rest in peace. Okay, so you're talking about Ray. All right. Yeah, remember Dolph? Everybody forgets Dolph. Not me. I remember that. I was so excited. I was so excited when that movie came out. And then they didn't even have the skull. It's like, Richard says, the movie Deliverance stopped people from canoeing. Probably, at least in certain places. Canoeing in certain places. John says, horror film fun fact. The Omen made in 1976 debuts in theaters. What, on this day? John Wayne says, talking about the rapture, I had the idea as a child that I would stay behind alone and move into a toy store. Ah, okay, well, make the best out of a bad situation. Glass is half full, you know. I remember you guys, I'm sure you've maybe you've seen over the years, you know, if you're watching Aaron, I'm just going to tell, I think it's a funny story. But I was, back when Aaron Madden and I wrote Luscious Rocky Rounds, we were doing the KICW before I did Dark Horse Championship Wrestling. And I remember we were talking about, this was, what was going on? Something was happening where there's this big talk of the rapture was supposed to be. One of the several times that it was supposed to happen. And before that day occurred, I was in a conversation with him, and I said, "Hey, the rapture is supposed to happen on this particular day." I said, "Would you do me a favor, and would you, after that occurs, would you be able to go to my house and take care of my cats?" So he just, I'm not gonna be here. I just thought it was funny how the assumption was he was going to be here, so maybe he could take care of my pets. I'm Catholic. I'm not gonna be here. But it says the Punisher, huh? I remember the principal of my grade school had a paddle named just that. Ah, surprise! I was well acquainted with that object. Tom says, I was 13 when Trilogy of Terror came out. Oh, I remember that night. I remember the night it came out. Was the first movie that kept me from sleeping the entire night. Yeah. Stephanie says, yeah, that little doll. That was creepy. Stephanie says, I would not be surprised if they remake Trilogy of Terror. Yeah, why not? They remake everything else. Jeff says the scariest. If you're going to go back and remake that, because that seems to be, maybe it's just in these horror themed, shows, within this circle of the genre. But Trilogy of Terror, Gargoyles, that's another one that gets mentioned quite a bit when you're talking about these old made-for-TV movies. Will that be a remake? I suppose it could. That's kind of one of those cult classics, Jeff says, the scariest dream I ever had was being at elementary school in only my underwear. Yeah. Bonus says, the Zuni fetish doll. Yeah. Renee says, Crow summer release. Oh, okay, well, it's right around the corner then. Could be any time then. John Wayne, Trilogy of Terror, was that the one with the doll? It certainly was. It certainly was. Let's see. Bonus says, yep, I believe so. SBC, I think Karen Black starred in all three stories. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she did. If I remember that right. I think you are. How far behind am I? Let me jump ahead here. Patty says, I have a friend who has the doll on his memorabilia shelf. The manager of the mall actually had, last year, he had for quite a while that doll. And when you went in the office in the mall, the Cranberry Mall, it was up there. So, let's see. Get up a little bit. Oh, that's not the. Bunny says, oh, that's not what the rapture is. Oops, I thought it was the music. I guess I learned something, I think. Oh. Renee says, you're in a matrix grid simulation, Patty. You've witnessed the Mandela effect, parallel Earth dimension, fabric of reality realms. Dreams is an alternate reality. Do you think we are in a... Okay, in a simulation or a parallel universe, or are they both the same? And if the Mandela effect did occur, or the branching off, okay, like I've heard some people say it happened in 2012. Where did I hear that? Oh, do you ever watch the Y Files? Go to YouTube, check out the Y Files. Man, really, really interesting and very well done episodes about very, very cool subjects that we would all find interesting. Just all kind of cryptoid stuff and UFOs and the guy does a fantastic job. I can't think of the name of the host, but he's got a little sidekick Hecklefish, and it's very entertaining. It's well done, and it's just but that's where I had heard about that there. Not for the first time, but I know that he has talked about it. Stephanie says, last Friday I watched with my mom the Attack of the Giant Leeches for movie night. I remember you mentioning that you were going to. Maybe you said that you were going to, because I remember you mentioning that. That's cool. Patty says, yes, I do remember the news showing the riots in South Africa after Mandela died in prison. I am one of the special few. Interesting. Let's see. Renee says, lucid dreams turns into astral plane projection. John Wayne says, if you sneaked out during the lockdown, you had a foretaste of the rapture. Oh, yeah. I know. It was so, when it first happened, when the quarantine first happened, man, it was so weird. So weird. Nothing, you didn't see anybody, no cars. Yeah. Alice says, the doll in the trilogy scared the hell out of me as a kid. Yeah, me too. Patty says, SBC, I wasn't given a choice of lockdown. I had to go to work. But it says, the fabric of my reality is out of fashion and torn. Fabric. You're pulling a Tom Paisley there with your zingers. Brad says, I think some certain B horror movies should be in the public domain. Tom says, Bone, the rapture is when the Christians are taken to heaven, avoiding earth's tribulation while non-believers face judgment. Yes. Yeah, and I always thought, oh no, you're dreaming that, like, oh, it happened, they're gone. That means, oh, nuts. There's no, you got to go through the tribulation. There ain't no getting out of that. And so I was always happy when I woke up. See, it was just a dream. Al says, I love the Y-Files. See, there you go. Have you guys seen that? Have you guys, 849, we're not doing bad. The Y-Files, check that out. Go to YouTube, check out the Y-Files. It is so cool. What a neat channel. I'm subscribed to it, and the few times that I can actually sit down and watch something, I enjoy that. A lot of really cool stuff on there. Bunny says, okay, thanks, Tom. I definitely learned something new tonight. Now, if I can retain that knowledge, it'll be an accomplishment. Oh, about the rapture. If you read, well, it's in the book of Revelations when they're talking about the Antichrist and the Great Tribulation, the 7 years of the Great Tribulation. Not a good time to be stuck here. Let's see. Renee says, dreams, nightmares, power naps, daydreaming, sleepwalking, sleep paralysis are actually all related to extraterrestrial, alien missing time, extraterrestrial, alien DNA, hybrid pregnancies, and nanotechnologies, nanotechnological implants. Oh my gosh. Wow. I wonder if there's a Y-file for that one. Maybe so. Maybe so. I'm telling you, if you haven't checked that channel out, do it. It's very well worth it. SBC says Zuni Fetish Doll has a guest appearance in a miniseries, Stephen King's Nightmares. The episode is called Battleground from 2006. Oh, is that right? Is it just a doll in the background, or is that little doll running around up to no good? Let's see. Brad says Trilogy of Terror, creepy, creepy doll. Renee says E.T. alien probing. Ah, he. Those aliens. Aw. Patty says there's a movie about the rapture with Bernie Mac as the Antichrist. Oh, really? I love the stoned zombies in it. Really? Bernie Mac is the Antichrist. I just can't picture that. I shouldn't laugh. Renee says. Stephanie says, my mom and I started watching Expedition Unknown last week. I've heard of that. I haven't seen it. But it says, Miss Renee, I remember the nanites from Mystery Science Theater 3000. Is that the same thing, or am I confused again? Jeff says, check out Let's Scare Jessica to Death. Good vampire movie, but with a different approach. Let's Scare Jessica to Death. All right, folks, you want to check that out? Jeff said that's a good vampire movie with a different approach. Cool. Thank you for the recommendation. Patty says, Renee, don't get me started on my UFO missing time in 1972. Really? So you've had an experience with the UFO? Interesting, Patty. Brian says, hello all. Hey, Brian, thanks for joining us. See, this type of thing makes me want to start Chiller Chat back up again. And you know, I wish I could jump right back into that stuff. You know, doing the Chiller Night Theaters and the Chiller Chat. Actually, you know, like, all the construction is done. Because I wanted to mention this. I will say this. Let me say this. I want to mention a few things. Chiller Night Theater, obviously, is still playing on Stream TV every Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, we streammedia.tv. You can see the link, or not the link, the website there. Streammedia.tv, and also every Saturday night as well on WONNewyork.net. Okay, New York 48. Chiller Night Theater, Saturday night at 11:58 Eastern Time. And I post that every Saturday. So if you forget it, as we're watching this, you forget what the link is there, or the link. Why am I saying links? The website, WONNewyork.net. Check out Chiller Night Theaters. Look. These 3 pages here. Escape Experience, Jack Shadow's House of Terror, and Chiller Night Theater. Check out any one of them on Saturdays on Facebook, and I've got the information with the link there for that channel as well. So I also wanted to say in my store, Zombie Outbreak, yes, the Witching Hour is up and running as well, so I'm very happy about that. I will say the future of the Cranberry Mall is kind of in question, you know, sadly, but I'm proceeding forth with a store. So next month, I will have added a store to the store, Chiller Night Escape Experience, and I will modify the name of the store to just Chiller Night. That will be the name of the store, the actual physical store. And the Escape Experience will be part of it, and Jack Shadow's House of Terror will be part of the store. Okay, there will be their own sections of the store, the escape rooms and the haunted house. So that's what I'm going to do, and fingers crossed I'll get all that up by next month. So I wanted to mention that. Now I will, let's see. Tom says, Zuni fetish doll is now officially the most valuable prop in horror history. What? Just sold at auction for $211,000 in horror history. Wow. Holy moly. John Wayne says, I subscribed to the Y-Files when the channel had less than 1,000 subscribers. It's very big now. Yeah. Yeah, that's such a good channel. Renee says, Yvonne Smith hypnotized that man that was screaming and yelling on sightings, encounters, and paranormal borderline UFO television shows. The extraterrestrial aliens are on top of me, crushing and raping me. That's what the guy was yelling at. Must have had some, obviously a traumatic, I'm trying to think. There is these ideas that like the CIA are involved in planting those kind of thoughts in people's heads as well. So you gotta wonder, like, did it, was it the aliens, or was it some other sinister force putting the thoughts in his head? I don't know. I've heard both sides of that. So Stephanie says, Dracula Dead and Loving It. You should see it, Brian. I've heard of it. Believe it or not, I've never seen it. I know well what you're talking about, but let's see. Bonus says, well, old Bonehead has fallen down the rabbit hole again, so before he gets totally lost, let's take this moment to thank Chiller Night crew and Brian for another great show. Thank you, Bonehead. 8:57. Okay. Let me. Oh man! Wow! I didn't realize I was that far behind. Wow! You guys are really. Patty says 8:53. Time for a promo, Brian. Let's see, I'm 4 minutes. Promo? Sure. Why not? Why not? Because it ain't working. Well, okay. Well, we'll just have to do it next week. Sorry about that, Patty. But thanks for bringing that up. John says, you have been entertained by watching Chiller Night Live with Bryan Hogue. This is Crozak the Grand with your summer homework assignment. Okay, guys, remember this. Saturday is Ray Harryhausen's birthday, the father of Dynamation movies, like Mighty Joe Young, The Beast of 20,000 Fathoms, and Clash of the Titans. I remember seeing that in the theater. Your assignment is, what is your favorite movie that he has done? That's a good one. Until next week, stay chilled and keep thrilled. All right. There's a, you know what? Next week's topic. Let's do a topic. I'm inspired by that. Ray Harryhausen deserves to be his own topic here on Chiller Night Live. We haven't done topics in a while because I was working to get this thing up and running. So next week's topic will be Ray Harryhausen. There we go. Stephanie says, I got Chiller Night scheduled on my phone every week. Awesome. Thank you, Stephanie. I'm sorry. Wow, I really have to. Wow, there's a lot here. I'm so behind on these. I don't have time to. Let me just skip to the end here. It's my ghost cat. Renee says the dishes were clanging today. It was my ghost cat. Yes, I'm sure it was. Jason says, thank you as always. Thank you, Jason. Renee says, Golden Voyage of Sinbad. Eye of the Tiger, stay safe, Patty says. Earth versus the Flying Saucers. Al says, good night, everyone. Renee says, damn, show's over. Yes. Bonus says, thank you. It's an enjoyable experience again. See you next week, same time, same channel. Hopefully Bonehead will be back from his sojourn down the rabbit hole by then. Yes, hopefully so, and hopefully you will be here next week. Thank you, everybody, for joining me and each other for Chiller Night Live. We'll see you next week. Have a good night. Have a good Chiller Night. See ya.